Hello everybody, this is Becky and I am back with my first project. So this one is a little tag that we recently made at a private party. I had a good friend host a party for me and it was so much fun. We had a blast. It's kind of like painting with a twist, and it's definitely a twist because for her party we did stamping with margaritas. So we had margaritas and just had the best time. And it was a Valentine's theme, but I don't think that you have to stick with Valentine's or that hearts necessarily always have to go with Valentine's. So I'm going to show you this little tag because you could make this for anyone at any time, for a birthday or just to show your appreciation. Now, the stamp set that we used on here is from Paper Pumpkin, and I can explain more later about Paper Pumpkin, but basically it's a subscription kit. And what you do is you sign up and you can receive a kit every month. It mails out about the 15th. You get it around the 17th of every month. There's usually a theme, and you have all the materials to make a particular project. So it could be a card, it could be a decorative piece, it just could be anything. So this was the January kit. The stamp set it also comes, so you get a stamp set and the ink spots to go with it. So this came from that kit, and it was Valentine's themed, and there was supplies in it to make 24 little gift bags with the tags. So it was really a neat kit, but you can do so much with it. And because the stamp sets that come with it are exclusive to those kits, you can use them in all kinds of different projects. So I do not actually have this stamp set anymore because I gave it away as a free door prize to one of the participants of the party. So we're going to use a little different stamp this time, and we're going to actually feature the Avant Garden. So I'll show you that here in a minute. Now, the other thing about this tag, oh, and let me say this real quickly as well. Hosting is really a lot of fun, and it's the best way to get your hands on the products, because even though I'm showing you and trying my best to describe these things to you, there's nothing better than actually sitting down and doing it. So it's a lot of fun. You can invite your friends, neighbors, meet new people, and just have a really good, relaxing time. And so if you're interested, this is the best time of year to host because you get even more for free during Saleabration. And so if you would like to host, please contact me. We can definitely try to figure out a time that works best for you. If you live in the Dallas and even the Austin areas, I am willing to work with you if you would like to host with me. So anyway, going back to the project, I don't know if you can tell from this picture, but can you see that there is texture on here? So this heart here has hexagon shaped texture. So that is done really easily with the Big Shot, and even cutting out the large heart here, that is also done with the Big Shot. So I'm going to show you how to do that. It's a pretty easy project actually. So I'm going to set this aside. I have a few pieces already put together. And so you're going to need some paper here. So I've got some Whisper white paper, so I just got some scrap. And oh, also we're going to use the punch. So here's the punch we're going to use. This is the Sweetheart punch. This is from the annual catalog, and it's very versatile. I love it. So we're going to use that. And so the first thing you're going to do is punch out a heart out of Whisper white. So I already have that ready. The second thing you're going to have is another little piece of paper. This is, what is this? Mint macaron. And I'll just show you how to use the punch. It's really, really easy. All I'm going to do is slide it in, make sure that the image is in the little window here, and punch. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tip it upside down so it doesn't fly out and fall on the floor, because that happens a lot. So I'm just going to punch it out. There we go. So there's that piece. So now we have our two little hearts. Okay. And I'm going to set that aside for just a second. Set my punch aside. Now, the next thing is that we're going to have a some scrap. This is about a 4x4 piece of, I think it's basic gray. Get the 2 grays. We got 2 different color grays in our catalog. I think this is basic gray, but if I'm wrong, I'll repost the actual correct name down below the video. So, okay, so you'll need this scrap piece of the gray and another small scrap piece of the gray to cut another little heart using the sweetheart punch. So basically with the sweetheart punch, you have 3 little hearts: Whisper White, Mint Macaron, and the gray. All right, so there's a larger heart here. This is made using the Big Shot and our Sweet and Sassy Framelits dies. So let me show you what those look like. They come in a package like this, and they're called Framelits because they cut out a shape, you know, an actual a frame basically, or a shape. So we have circles, squares, ovals, all kinds of things. We even have some that cut out the shape and score as well, and I will show you a project made with that here, with one of those here in a little bit. So there's 2 different styles on this this Framelit set. You've got the hearts that have the little pointier kind of end, and then you have the hearts that are more rounded. So we're going to use the largest in this set of the one that has the little stylized point at the end. So I'm going to get this out. Pull that off, and I'm going to set this aside for just a second. I'm actually going to set all of this aside. So I've already cut out this heart. This one was also using, I think it might have been using, which one was it? That one right here. So this size right here. But you can just play with it and see what you like. So I'm going to go ahead and set that heart aside as well. And I'm going to bring in the Big Shot. And if you haven't seen this, you're going to like it. I think it's really pretty cool. And I may have to adjust my camera. Oops. Move some of this stuff out of the way. When you're working with a little area here, this kind of gets a little crowded, especially with the Big Shot. So, okay, I think we're good. So this is the Big Shot. It has a platform here, and it has a crank. That's really all there is to it. There's not any electrical parts. You don't have to plug it in. There's no little tiny screen. There's no programming, which I love. So that works for me. So I wonder if I can zoom back out when I'm live. Let me see if I can. No, I can't adjust it. So I'm actually, I'll try to just do my best here to show you, but what you do is you're going to take your Framelit and basically cut out your shape, okay? So here's the Framelit. It has a blade side. I don't know that you can tell. And you're going to put the blade side down. The other thing that I'm going to use is a platform. So this is a platform that's going to be run through the Big Shot. This is metal, actually, so it holds the Framelits in place. So I'm going to put that down. Okay, and I'm going to make a sandwich. So I'm going to put a cutting plate on the bottom. So it's going to look like this. Okay, there's a clear cutting plate. You always have to have that so that you don't ruin your platform. Okay, and then I'm going to grab my paper wherever it went because I move things away. Let's see, what did I do with them? Well, I'll just grab this one out of this bag. No, I won't because I can't find it. Ah, goodness, what did I do with it? Sorry, y'all. See, this is what happens when you're crafting. Things get kind of crazy and you start putting things away and moving things out of the way. There it is. Found it. Okay, so here we go. So here's my paper. Then I'm going to put down my heart. Remember again that the, there we go. That's more in the camera. So the blade side down because otherwise it won't cut. Okay. And then I'm going to put my cutting plate on top. So basically there's my sandwich. And you'll notice this is really scarred and marked up. That happens after a while. It's okay. Eventually they do get kind of warped and bowed and you do have to replace them. But you can use these cutting plates over and over and over again. It's not going to hurt anything. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to crank this through. Okay, and you'll hear it kind of pop. That's also okay. I love the way it sounds. It sounds like it's breaking, but it's not. It's okay. Okay, so there is my heart. I'm going to take it back out. And voila, there's the magic. So now you have a heart. Okay, so that's the first step. Now I'm also going to show you how you add texture. So I am actually going to remove the magnetic plate and use a different platform. So this platform is for working with other things, including the embossing folders. Now mine is the old style, so I'm going to show you what I mean. I have tabs here. I don't know if you can see this, okay? And I have to open it up, follow the instructions, and open this up so that I can use the platform. So when you get the big shot, the new one will come with a different platform where you don't have the little tabs. And I'm going to post a video from Stamping Up on the different tools and the different platforms so that you can see in more detail. I think she does a really good job of explaining what does what, so I think that will be very helpful. Anyway, I have the old style platform, and that's okay because it works just fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first grab my folder. Let me show you this embossing folder. Okay, so my embossing folder looks like this, and it is hexagons, and this is in the Occasions catalog. The Sweet and Sassy Framelits, like I said, are from the annual catalog, and I'll post pictures as well as the item numbers down below the video afterwards. So this is the embossing folder. It is thicker. It's called a hexagon. Let me see if I can get it right. Textured embossing folder, but dynamic textured embossing folder. And the reason being is because it is thicker, and in the picture that I'm going to post, it does show, it makes a deeper embossed image, and if you spray it with water, your paper, just lightly spray it, it'll even make a deeper impression. We're not going to do that today, but that is something that you could do. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our heart, okay, and we're going to place it inside the embossing folder. And I don't really think it matters which direction. I can even tilt it a little bit. I think I like that. Okay. And so you're just going to sandwich it in between the embossing folder. And I have it where the Stampin' Up symbol is facing up. Okay. Because I want the embossed image. You could use either side, and I'll show you what I mean. I even put a little marking on here for myself as well. So with this folder, because it's so thick, we're going to put it right on top of the platform. Then we're going to put a cutting plate on top, and then we're going to run it through. See how easy this is? I love it. I just love it. It's like magic. Okay, so now we have our embossed heart. Isn't that cool? I just love it. So like I said, you could use either side. This is the de-embossed side, which looks pretty cool too. So whichever you like. We're going to use this one today. Okay, so now that we're through cutting out and embossing, I'm actually going to remove the big shot and get it out of the way. And then I'm going to bring back in my stamping surface here, okay, and my paper. I always need scratch paper, so be sure that you have some handy. All right, we're going to bring back in our little pieces here. So we've got several pieces. and I'm going to take a couple of sponges. You can buy these in our catalog, our annual catalog. They come in a big round circle, and you can cut them into little wedges like this. And what we're going to do is we're going to do some sponging around the edges to give this some depth and dimension. So the first color that I'm going to use is some archival ink. This is the black archival. And again, here it is. What did I do with it? Ah, on the table. Okay, so this is the black archival ink. We're going to use that first. Open it up, flip, and open it up. And we're just going to take our sponge and get some ink on it. Okay. And then we're just going to go around the edge of our heart. And you can put as much, you know, sponging or as little as you want. I'm doing this rather quickly. I love to sponge. It's really a lot of fun. I sponge a lot of my projects like this. Okay, and it really kind of gives it, again, some more dimension, more depth, more of a 3D look. All right, so I like that. And then I'm also just going to do some pouncing, and I'm just going to pounce around in the middle here, just to kind of maybe give it a little bit more. Okay, I like that. All right, so we're going to set that aside for just a moment. And we're going to take our next ink color, and this I love. This is Calypso Coral. This was featured in the, it was one of the Stamp and Spot that was included in the Paper Pumpkin for January. And so it's a great color. It goes really good with mint macaron and gray, and so that's why I picked these colors. So just so you know what a Stamp and Spot is, it's just a little square of our ink, and it's great for travel. A lot of people like to use those when they travel. They come in our Paper Pumpkin kits, so they're very portable, but also you can order from the annual catalog some Stamp and Spots that have no ink in them, and you make your own ink pads. So you just buy the re-inker in the color that you want and put some on there, and then you have a nice little portable small ink pad to take with you. So it's a great option. So we're going to open this one up, and we're going to do the same thing with, well, actually we're going to do something a little different. We're going to take this white heart here, okay, so this white one here, and we are just going to add some color to it. Okay, so I'm just going to go all over, and your fingers do get a little inky, and it doesn't matter. I am not being picky. I kind of like that, you know, it's got little, I don't know, it's not perfect, it's not real smooth or anything like that. I just want color on there. So there we go. I kind of like that. Maybe put a little more in the middle. There we go. So I like that. That's done. And actually I'm going to take this larger heart. Forgot to do it too. The one that I previously cut out, this larger white one, and I'm actually going to sponge around the edge with the archival black as well. And you can see that I got a little carried away, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. All right, there we go. So there's that. Let me put a little bit more over here. There we go. I like it. Okay, there's that. So I'm going to go ahead and close up my Calypso Coral ink pad so I don't stick my hand in it. I'm going to leave the black open because we're going to do some stamping now. So there are these two hearts are ready. So on this one that we just sponged, the white one, we're going to do some stamping. Like I said, I don't have the stamp pad that we used, so I'm going to use a different one. This I'm going to use is from the this is Avant Garden, and this is from the Saleabration catalog. So this is one of the things that you can get for free with a $50 order. And I'm going to use this thanks, where is it? Thanks for being you stamp from this set. So I like that. So these are photopolymer, so they come like this on a sheet, okay? And you peel them off and you stick them on a clear block. So you do have to remember that you need a clear block for these. Okay, so I've already mounted my stamp. Okay, and I've marked it with these are actually reinforcements for notebook paper for the holes. So I put this on the top so I would know which way my stamp is going, because I don't want it to be upside down. So I'm going to ink this up. And since I haven't used this particular stamp yet, especially with photopolymer, I like to test it out on scratch paper first to see how it looks and just kind of make sure that it's inked, and that looks really good. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and ink it again. Okay, and you do kind of have to tap pretty good on the archival ink, because it just is a little drier than our other ink pads. So anyway, I'm just going to line this up where I want it. The great thing is, because you can see through it, you can position it a lot easier, and I'm just going to stamp straight down. And it will stick, but that's okay. And there you go. Thanks for being you. I love it. That is great. Perfect size for that heart. Now I'm going to go ahead and close my ink pad so I don't get it. Okay, so now I'm going to take and assemble our hearts. And you can really place these wherever it looks good for you. So we've got all of our hearts here. And the first thing I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and glue these down to my heart, directly on my heart. So I'm going to use some snail, and I'm probably going to use a silicone mat just in case I don't want to get ink on my surface here. Let me grab that. Okay, so I'm going to set him out of the way here. I'm going to put my hearts on this silicone mat. I'm actually going to put my gray one away. So the only two that I want to glue down are the two little hearts, the mint macaron and the calypso coral. So from my sample, I kind of looking at this and I want to see where I want to do my placement, and just kind of line things up first. So let me kind of see where I like that. So here's this heart, this one. Let me see what this looks like. Now I kind of like that, so I may do it kind of like that. So you can do these any way you want them, just whatever looks good to you. So I think I'm going to lay them down just like that. I'm going to put him out of the way. So the two small hearts I'll do first. So because I want this one first underneath, I'm going to go ahead and glue the calypso coral down first. Oops, helps if you open the cap here. And I'm just going to put some glue on here. Make sure I get across the top. Okay, so there's this heart. I'm going up the corner here. And now my mint macaron heart. Okay. And let me bring in my other one and see where I liked it. You could even have them, you know, hanging off a little bit if you wanted to. And I think I'm going to do that just a little bit. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Now this one we're actually going to put some glue dot, or not glue dots, but dimensionals on it to pop it up. So I'm going to put about 3 dots on here, or dimensionals. So these come in a pack, and somehow or another when we were stamping we got red ink on it, but it doesn't matter, they still work. They come on a sheet and you just pull them off and you just add them to the back of your project. And I'm gonna kind of poke them a little bit and then pull off the backing. Put these here so I can find them and throw them away. And there we go. So I've peeled the backing off and I'm just going to put it on here where I want it. So there we go. Perfect. I like it. Very cute. Okay, so then to finish this off, that's where we're going to bring in our gray heart here for the back. Now you could use red or, you know, white or whatever you want. It doesn't really matter, but it's going to go on the back to kind of finish off the back. So we're going to take some ribbon. This is ribbon from the Occasions catalog. Yeah, from the Occasions. And there's 2 spools of it. Let me show you what that looks like. It comes in a package like this. And I don't know if you can tell, The silver is what we're using today. Okay, that's the silver. And then there's also a kind of a gold in here. So that comes in a two pack, so it's a really good deal. And we are going to just do kind of a little loop in the back. And this is about, how long is this? It's about 10 inches long, so approximately. I just kind of guessed. But we're going to make a little loop, and let me get this ready. So we're going to flip this over. I'm going to use another dimensional, okay, and I'm going to put it kind of towards the, you know, where the heart dips in at the top. I'm going to kind of put it right around in here, okay. So not at the very top, but a little lower, okay. All right, so we're going to peel the sticky backing off of that and get it ready. Okay, then we're just going to kind of do a little loop here. So this is kind of like and I'm going to make sure my tails are even, or as even as possible. There we go. So this is sort of like reminds me of the breast cancer ribbon. So that's kind of the shape that we're going for. Get my tails even and my loop fairly decent size so that it, okay. There we go. I kind of like that. And we're going to try to get this to where it will stick. And I'm kind of fumble fingers today, so I'm going to play with this until I get the loop that I want. Okay. And it's going to stick out the bottom, which is what I want. I want the tails to stick out from the bottom of the heart. So there we go. All right. So I'm going to stick him down right there. Okay. And it's not real even, the tails are not, so I'm probably going to, you know, I'll snip those off here in a minute. So I'm going to put another dimensional over the top of that, where it crosses over on the top of that, to make sure that it sticks, and that will kind of tack it down. And if it doesn't, you can reinforce it if you need to with some dots, glue dots or whatever. And I think that's good. I'm going to pull the backing off of that. And then to finish it off, I'm going to take my gray heart and put it right over the top of that glue dot. So just like that. There we go. So now I've tacked down my little loop. Okay, there we go. Okay, so there's my loop. Okay, there's the back. Pretty cool, huh? And of course I would even up the tails of my project. And like I said, I may put a few glue dots down here just to kind of hold this more in place. So in fact, I'm going to put, maybe not glue dots, but maybe just another dimensional there. Okay, that seems a little bit more secure. Okay, so there you go. There is the finished project, and I love that. That's great, and I can use this on a gift package or whatever. Or just send it as it is and maybe put a little note on the back. So there you go. That is the project. Hope you like it. I will be back with another. Thank you.